Hi, and welcome to HUMA Beats and Eats podcast. I'm Marnie Wood, your host, and today I have the extreme pleasure of interviewing Marshall Stone. So I'm super excited, so let's hear what he has to say.
I just want to say hello, and thank you, Marnie, for having me today.
Thank you for being here. I'm thrilled. I can't even tell you how thrilled I am. So how did you get started in music?
It was a funny story with that because I didn't really know what I wanted to do in life. In school, I just had a tendency to just kind of be just like have the overactive imagination, class clown kind of mentality with stuff. And all of a sudden in middle school, I got into wanting to just like sing stuff and just imitate voices that I'd hear on either like cartoons or on the radio or anything like that. And people genuinely seemed to enjoy whenever I just entertain people by singing. So I thought, hey, well, maybe we'll give this a go and see if I want to actively pursue this and everything. And then all these years later, it ended up being the weird decision that brought me where I am today.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So did you start taking lessons or going to like school for it or anything?
It sort of came in a weird way because I tried doing it naturally at first, and then I joined the School of Rock that was over in Baltimore when I was around 14, and I was there. I was there for around 4 years or so. And there is when I started to get formal lessons for overall voice. Guitar I was already starting to do the year before, but it was thanks to there that it sort of helped me grow into my own with it.
Yeah. So, do you play any other instruments?
Yeah, I play a little piano, bass guitar, and some hand percussion, ukulele, and some drums.
Oh wow! Which is your favorite?
Well, probably guitar, just because it's the easiest to relax to. Ukulele is starting to get up there for me, though. I actually recently got a little combined instrument called the gitalele, where they just extend the ukulele by 2 strings, and it's the equivalent of an uptuned guitar if you put a capo on the 5th fret. So,
that's fun.
Yeah. So I might bring it out to a show one day. I don't know.
That'd be fun. I hope you do.
Yeah.
What was the first album CD? I wasn't sure age-wise if it would be a CD or an album.
The problem is that my quote first albums were usually ones that I listened to from my mom or my dad. So it would vary on that. I don't exactly remember what my first purchased album is, but some of the first albums that I do remember listening to are the Beatles 1 compilation on CD and let's see, The Who Greatest Hits. It was a 2 CD collection. And then I would say Billy Idol Greatest Hits was one of the first ones I listened to too. Really, there was a CD that was just some random compilation called Rock Selects that sort of gave me the taste of different genres of rock and everything like that. It allowed me to get introduced to stuff like Marcy Playground, Radiohead, Roxy Music, and Megadeth was randomly on there too. It's such a weird compilation, but I treasure it.
You speaking of that, you have such a wide range of songs when you do your solo act that you perform. Like we saw you at Fiore last week, and you did a Primus song. And never heard that, and would never think that anyone would think to do that.
Well, I mean, it's good because you can get the voice in there and you go ahead and just have a little fun. I was talking about something like Wynonna's Big Brown Beaver like that.
Oh, it's always fun. It's fun. Who are your biggest influences?
Musically, it would usually, the problem with me is that most of my biggest influences are dead. So it's more of a case where I'm just like, I treasure them, but I can never have the chance to actually like actively meet them.
Oh no!
So it would probably be, I'd say for ones that are deceased, probably say, John Lennon definitely for just that wear and tear of the voice and everything. Freddie Mercury when it came to actually wanting to transcend my normal like baritone range and everything. And then for ones that are alive, I would say Robert Plant, Steven Tyler, and there's a little bit of John Fogerty in there, at least over the years it's come to be. I don't know if I really ever thought about that when I was first listening to CCR, but definitely, like, as I got older, I think it was around in my 20s that I finally started to kind of appreciate those songs a lot more.
Did that influence your choice to join LODI?
That was interesting because Paul, or the drummer, had met me when I was performing over at Green Turtle in Abingdon. And it was just a case where he had heard me cover some CCR songs by request, and then one that I just actively liked to play. And I was in the middle of auditioning for another band at the time, and he was like, "Hey, if that band doesn't work out, well, let me know. We can go ahead and jam and work on this project that I'm thinking of." And that ended up turning into the first lineup for LODI.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Currently, who are your favorite artists?
Well, that's something I really have to think about there. So on the current side of things, probably Genesis, probably a little bit on the side of, on the metal side, I would say Arch Enemy. Kiss is definitely a childhood favorite of mine when it comes to the eras for that. Let's see. I would still say Beatles and Stones and The Who because those childhood favorites never left me. So,
who are your favorite female artists?
Ooh, interesting. Dua Lipa, I could really say, because she kind of reminds me of the fixation that my dad had a little bit with Kate Bush and Madonna back in the day. And it's sort of that thing where I hear Dua Lipa, and there's another female artist named King Princess that I really enjoy too. At least with both of them when it comes to more on the modern side of that. But yeah, those two are my current favorites, ones that are like currently putting out music.
Yeah, nice. What's your favorite genre to play in? And then is there a genre that you don't really dabble too much in, but you would like to work more on?
Probably I would say in the broader scale of different rock genres are just my favorite ones to play because there's really just a lot of crossover and a lot of different areas you can take your voice and your playing and everything. And then a genre I haven't really touched that much. I would like to do like a bit more on either the classical side or maybe even throw back to maybe in the big band sort of style in the crooner days for like a little mini project or something like that. Because this is an odd example, but it's kind of like a thing where I'd heard Tony Danza's MTV Unplugged album and like really enjoying that. And then hearing Bob Dylan try to take a swing at some Frank Sinatra songs really had me in a loop for a bit to where I thought it was like, maybe for like one-off night or recording, I could just go ahead and be the crooner types that you would hear whenever you hear like 101.9 play all those different Christmas songs. And just have it, have a holly jolly Christmas for that stuff. So, and just go mainly for those like bellowing types like that.
Yeah, like Dean Martin.
Yeah.
The Rat Pack.
Yeah, just go in a Rat Pack, nostalgia sort of name like that.
That would be fun. I like big band stuff. That'd be fun.
My hair would probably be slicked back with that.
You wear a tuxedo too.
Yeah, I would for that. You gotta have it be in the style.
And you have the picture of the dogs around the poker table behind you.
No, I feel like what would happen is that I would try to have my face or makeup kind of match the dogs a little bit, so that way I could just have my face go from like one to another to a real surprise look like that.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
You travel all over to perform. What are some of your favorite spots to perform and why?
All right. Well, I would say Flood Zone over at Union Bridge is one of my favorite spots because it's a good little hub to where not only I can see just like a bunch of people through the Carroll County side that I've come to know over the years, but also it's one that my parents will actually drive to as well. Because the thing with my dad is that he and my mom both support me a lot when it comes to this this avenue that I've chosen over the years. And but the thing with my dad is that he'll only go so far when it comes to driving. So, which I completely get. I'll probably get like that too in about, I would say, 20, 30 years.
Yeah, so. It slowly edges that way.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd say like for now, I never mind the travel, but yeah, that's for when it comes to flood zone. My dad will be like, yeah, we can drive there, and then he'll just spend time there.
Yeah. What are the music scenes like where you play most? Like you play Hartford County, you play a lot in Pennsylvania. You play a little bit in West Virginia.
Yeah.
So what are the music scenes like? How are they similar? How are they different?
So on the similar side, there is a sense of community. I noticed that the most with Hartford County because there is definitely a sense of union where people like want to come and support each other and everything through the bonds that everybody's made. I would say Christian Owen and a couple other like pages that he's done, like the HOCO page on Facebook, definitely helped that out. It at least creates a sense of union on there, and just being able to be like, hey, if you're off and you want to see this guy, come there and all that. So it just helps networking and everything. Yeah. And then with Pennsylvania, it really just depends on where you go, because where I live in New Oxford, it's sort of the hub between Hanover and Gettysburg and even Dillsburg if you really want to go a little up north. But or south. Somebody will probably correct me on that. But
not me.
But,
I'm geographically
me too. So that is probably going to be a thing people say. So, but yeah, for when it comes to that area, we tend to run into each other a bunch when it comes to just either being out and about, just doing just normal stuff that doesn't have to do with music, or we won't be able to run into each other unless somebody has a day off or they have to cancel or something, and they'll be like, oh, hey, it's good to see you. It's like, I know you're busy. It's like, hey, I know you're busy, so it's all good. And then if you go up to the central Pennsylvania side, there really is an awesome sense of community over there, and it's the Central Pennsylvania Music Hall of Fame that's helped that from doing these award shows that they've done by bringing the community together, bringing the spotlight to acts that may not have been able to like have that national spotlight before, and also just being able to like open up the genres and people that just want to be able to just do a lot for either the community or to just kind of just do more with themselves, whether it's musically, production-wise, or whatever. It's everything is all in different art forms. It's just like a wide gate that opens up for it. So it's just a nice little thing there. West Virginia, I don't have as much experience with because I only play in one central area, and that's around the Martinsburg area. But from what I've heard, like they have a nice sense of community. I always hear good things about the hard rock and metal community over there with like trying to help each other out band-wise. And it's kind of similar to what happens with the Pennsylvania side when it comes to networking with different bands, projects, and trying to help out the community and different like charity work and all too.
Yeah. So you've been playing since you were 15 out?
Yeah, that would be with School of Rock.
So how has the music scene changed for you over the years?
There's definitely more of an emphasis of just trying to cater a lot more to just like wide ranges of people. And that's one of the reasons why I just decided to switch my set lists to just kind of just do open requests for people, because you want to be able to like see how many people you can affect in a positive light. And I want to be able to do that not just with my voice, but also being able to just be like, oh, hey, I love this song. Can you play that? I'm like, yeah, I can give it a try, and just help them out with that. To where even just like a slight difference in their mood or anything like that is always nice, because you know, hey, you did that. Everything.
Yeah. You're very good at that. I remember one time I'd asked you for Simon and Garfunkel's version of Hazy Shade of Winter.
Yeah.
And you did it, and it was good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, with the differences that I've noticed, there's like not only with the cover scene is that there's more of a wanting to be more accessible to people. There's also more of a sense with playing out that everything is like a lot more DIY driven nowadays. The main thing that I like to do with it is not only just spread my own type of happiness with what I just mentioned, but also wanting to do more when it comes to just making an impact and just giving back and everything too, because I'm blessed to be able to make a living doing what I love with this. And I don't want to act like it was not because of the people around me, and I thank them for that.
Yeah, well, we feel very blessed that you continue to do it, so we come out and enjoy you, watch you play. So how have you evolved musically? How did you develop your voice to be able to sing like you do? And then how has your guitar playing grown? Because that's your main instrument that you play.
Yeah, with my voice evolution, I didn't want my voice to die anymore. That was my evolution, and as to why I wanted to take like formal lessons with stuff. Because with School of Rock, I was developing the distorted voice fine, but I didn't know how to control it or how to properly use like actual like registers right, aside from almost doing a shout vocal. And it had me short my voice out a lot. So I got proper instruction over at School of Rock first, and then I got instruction in the classical opera side over at Carroll Communities College as well. And that worked out fine when it came to just like giving me some good safeguards to protect my voice. And then guitar-wise, I'm happy to be able to evolve more, because I used to only just be able to get by of doing like simple electric guitar chords. But I'm really happy that I switched to acoustic primarily for my stuff, because it allows me to not only think about just how a song would just sound unplugged and also just through an amp, but also it allows me to think more on the percussive side too, because you can like accent how you play and just have a and you can kind of do that without needing percussion behind you. And I think that's just a funny thing where you can control that in an interesting way.
Yeah, definitely. What's it like to perform with musicians like John Party, Dizzy Reed, Bret Michaels, and the many other that I can't mention them all?
Oh, that's okay. Those ones came mostly from hired gun or band projects that I was in beforehand. When it came to Dizzy Reed and Uli John Roth days, that was with a friend of mine's band who actually lives in Jarrettsville, not that far from here. We were called the Euphorics. And it was sort of like a hair metal throwback sort of side that we decided to be a part of. And then it was, I think it was, one was at the Wrecker, where we opened up for Dizzy Reed, which is a Guns N' Roses keyboardist. And then for Uli John Roth, that was at a place, I can't remember the name anymore. It was in White Marsh. It was an old venue that I think closed up at about 2015, 2016 or so. But yeah, the name escapes me. But that was a Euphorics gig as well. John Party was a solo one, and that one came from entering a thing called the Launch Music Conference. So you can just submit what you have when it comes to your information, your socials, your originals, and then you get selected, and you can get randomly placed in some different venues.
Oh, neat.
And there was this one venue that was opened up in Lancaster for a long time called the Chameleon Club. And I got chosen to open up for that. I got to open up for a really awesome crowd. I did not expect there to be that many people. But then again, I was clueless to know who John Party was at the time. So, because at that time, around like 2016 or so, I knew nothing about the current country scene. So that was just my way of just opening up on there. And my experience with playing on a John Party bill is that I didn't really get to meet him in person. I got to meet his frantically busy guitar tech, which was pushing through everybody and just gave almost death glares if you got in his way. And he was just moving quick to get all the guitars tuned during his set. But yeah, like from what I could see of him, like seemed like a swell guy, nice guy to talk to. From like from outside looking in sort of side. And then at Fishhead, Michael Sweet, the lead singer of Stryper. I opened up for him, and seeing him, I liked his vibe because he had a similar thing that I do sometimes when it comes to if I have a bad hair day, he'll wear a hat. That's what happens during his set.
Yeah,
to where it's just like, oh, it's like if my hair's not looking good, it's a hat day for the stage. So, but yeah, that was a fun show over there, over at Fishhead. Nice lineup with a lot of cool people, including Mike. So.
Yeah, very cool. So you've won several awards, most recent being Central Pennsylvania's Music Award, Ironman 2025. What does it all mean to you? Like all the awards you've won, like how does that impact you? What is it? Does it motivate you to do more? Or
I think the fact of just being mentioned in the nominees side really does mean a lot, because it shows that like even if you don't win something, they know you're there. Like they know you're working, you're busting your ass off for this.
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
And when it comes to the wins, so far with the Central Pennsylvania Music Awards, I've won 2. The one for Best Male Cover Artist for 2023, and then this year for Ironman 2025. With these, I never expect to win anything because it's just sort of the thing. Because even when I was trying to like aspire to sing and play guitar through my youth and everything like that, I usually just felt like I was sort of the outsider on that, to where I was just like, oh, like, you know, it's like everyone has a certain clique that like wins or something like that. When it comes to like old days with karaoke competitions, it's usually like the popular vote with the crowd and everything like that. And I was just never really that social type growing up with that. So I just negatively kind of associated that with awards in general, like actually having things lead up. And then nominations started to come. And I think my first one was around 2015 it was a thing called the Maryland Music Awards.
Okay. When
I was still residing in Maryland, where I got a nomination for that. And I was like, oh, that was out of the blue. And to where I'm just like, all right, there are people starting to take notice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And now that I live in Pennsylvania, it's now starting to be the case with the CPMAs as well. And really, now that I got the Ironman Award, I joke to people where it's just like, I played this many shows, now I never have to play this many shows in a year again. Because I got intrigued by it, because one of my friends had won a few years back for his amount of shows, and I was just like, I wonder how much I could play in 1 year to give myself a chance to get that random award.
How much did you play?
It was 237 shows I played last year.
Wow.
And there was
that's dedication.
Yeah,
right there.
it took 2 years for me to get the crown on that, because there was 1 year, I think it was the year before, where this one guy that I know, I think he ended up playing about 260 or 250 shows, where collectively I think, wow, that's awesome. And then I have to always remember is like, I don't know how many of these are only like 1 to 2 hour spot shows and everything too. Where I can say with a majority of mine, like they're mostly 3 to 4 hour shows. So I know the wear and tear side for it.
Yes, definitely. You also participate in several fundraising events throughout the year.
Yes.
Do you seek them out or do they approach you? And are you particular to any?
It's kind of in the middle, because with one that I'm particularly passionate about, Gettysburg Rocks, I reached out to them at first. That was my one. I wanted to try to do more in Pennsylvania because I had done so many in Maryland. I think this was around 2015 where I started to reach out to them and see what would happen. I looked up what Gettysburg Rocks was, and I really admired the cause that they were pulling for, which was raising money for Four Diamonds, helping out families and children by battling pediatric cancer. And as soon as I first did that show and saw the community around that, I thought, okay, this is something that I want to try to participate in as much as possible.
Yeah.
I've never really done as many when it comes to like active ones, but there are a lot of ones they'll help out with when it comes to either like Relay for Life, Roots for Boots I've done a few years too. But yeah, like right now I'm trying to actively look for a charity to do a Facebook live stream for. One thing that I want to try to do is almost marathon it. I want to get to an incentive, and before we hit that incentive, I will be live nonstop.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So even when I have to like either sleep or stay up for something to where we have to reach that incentive or whatever, I will do that.
Yeah.
Because if we have something where it's just like, oh, I want to raise $5,000 for St. Jude's or something like that. If we're nowhere near close to like that amount, if we're only at like $400, $500 on the first day, I'll keep the camera rolling and just sleep, and then eventually wake up and then just get back to music. Yeah. But I will pretty much keep it up there.
It'd be like the old version of Facebook where everybody posted what they were doing.
Yeah, except you get an active camera for it. But if we're close, then I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna all night this.
So the first time I saw you was at the Main Street Tower in Bel Air, and you were LODI, and you were performing, and we were blown away. And I've had the opportunity to get to know you a little better since Brian's joined the band. And we definitely support your solo act because we enjoy it, and we enjoy you, and it's fantastic. So at this point in your career, how do you prepare for upcoming shows? Do you just...
It's when it comes to normal, it's usually just a day in the office for me, because the main thing is I always check it. I always make sure, is my voice working? And then and then also a case where it's just like, am I not sick or feeling ailed by something injury-wise? Because if those boxes check out, then I'm usually fine. Now, if I'm sick or healing up from something and my voice is kind of rehabbing, that's where I get a little nervous, because I won't know how something will sound when it comes to stacking it up like 2, 3, 4 hours versus just randomly practicing at home and trying to rehab the voice. So of course, when that happens, I get terrified, because I don't know what will happen at the moment where it all becomes real.
Yeah.
But when I know I'm okay, when it comes to like everything is just functioning fine, then I'm like, okay, well, this is my environment, so this is where I'm happiest.
Yay! Yeah. Very cool. What's it like playing in celebration tribute bands, and how do you keep it fresh for you?
Because of being in a Journey tribute band before, that's where I started to get the feeling of needing that feeling of having it feel fresh and just changing up enough. Because when I was with Eclipse, I had this sense of enjoying what I was doing and everything, but also I was kind of hoping that the sets would be a little bit less rigid than they were, because as much as I love my rapport with the guys, I was getting very tired of having the whole thing start off with Majestic and Where Were You each night, and then having the end song of that just be like The Party's Over, Hopelessly in Love, as it normally was for that at that time with them. And then the third set was always fun, because we would always do a bunch of cover songs and just have fun with that. And I think being able to do that and sort of have LODI open up and do some of those songs in their set as well has given like a bit more of a feeling of this not feeling like the exact same thing. Like it doesn't have to be like a dedicated tribute band, because I realize we can be flexible.
Right.
Yeah, because we have the full band show, and when it comes to the 4 hours stretch, but then we're working on the tribute show where it is just strictly either CCR, John Fogerty, or just CCR. So it's just nice to be able to have that feeling of just having everything just relaxed and just be in different forms depending on the venue.
Yeah. What did you do during COVID, and how and where did you start venturing out again?
During COVID, I ended up, this was at the time where I I was auditioning for this one band, and then I met Paul, because this was actually, when that was happening, it was a month before COVID actually hit. And then when the shutdowns happened, we were all still orchestrating how we were going to practice and everything like that too. So while everybody was shut in, LODI was working behind the scenes. We were obeying orders. We were doing 6 feet apart from everybody when it came to practicing and wearing masks and everything. But yeah, LODI started basically during a time where there was just a lot of fear going around because nobody knew what would happen. Like, it was like, is there a cure? Is there a vaccine? Nobody really knew for sure. You had the he said, she said for that.
Right.
And ultimately, we just decided, hey, we love playing music, so we're still going to play music anyway, even if there's no venues yet. Ultimately, things started to open up for myself. There was still these people that wanted to have these parties, even when the shutdowns were happening. So I was still playing a few private parties here and there while the venues were still closed. And then as summer hit and restrictions were lifting, that was where things began to open up more, and I did stuff close to home around Hanover because there were outdoor venues for that. So really, shutdowns at least helped out. It helped flesh out LODI to help us become tighter as a unit. So.
Yeah. You seem to get new followers all the time. What is that like for you?
I basically just tell myself, hey, welcome to the unpredictable show. One show, like each show is different, and I basically just call it welcome to the roller coaster. But it's nice because I love traveling, I love meeting new people, and I really just enjoy the whole social aspect of just going somewhere and seeing someone that does appreciate live music and just hearing songs stay and just be able to just have fun with the whole thing, because I think ultimately that's what matters, because you don't want to be too serious or stick in the mud about everything. Sometimes you just want to let go and have some fun.
Yeah. What inspires you?
Generally, I think just being able to travel and just see stuff on the outside looking in, because a thing with me is that I cannot handle being confined in one area for too long. So if I get cabin fever very easily. So even if I wasn't performing or doing music, I would still want to get out of the house and travel and just see stuff, whether it be about nature, about different landmarks, or just traveling the world. That's basically what I want to be able to do at one point. So
I'm sure you'll get there. How did you build your song library? Because you know so many songs. And are you constantly learning new songs?
So building the library at first was mainly just picking some of my favorite songs that I want to play. Picking the library nowadays is all about just kind of going forth and just seeing how many times people are requesting a certain song, to the point where I'm just like, well, I better start learning this right, and getting it to a point where people are happy with it. And that's how the library expands a bit. And then when it comes to just learning more, it's really just kind of like allowing myself to just take time during car rides to just listen to the stuff. Because when I do a thing in my shows called the Spotify trick, I'll usually take about 20 to 30 seconds to listen to different parts of a song and sort of piece it together like a puzzle. And just be like, okay, I'm going to guess this and hope I'm right. And then I'll hear in the car on the way home, because I'll still be linked to Spotify via Bluetooth, to see if I was really right. And if I was right, I'm like, awesome. And then if not, I'm like, damn.
Is it hit or miss?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I like the challenge of it all. It keeps things interesting.
You recently came out with your first album in 10 years, I think?
Yes. Actually, I think it was 9 years.
Remember what you're looking for. What was that process like for you?
That was a very interesting process, because I had a bunch of songs collected for a few years to where I didn't know what I wanted to do. I became sort of jaded with original music for a little while, because I just didn't know who was actively listening or who would actually appreciate it. Because my first 2 albums just sort of came and went, and to the point where I even removed the first one off of Spotify. And yeah, I didn't know where I was thinking with my head to why I was shelving these songs for a little while, but then there was enough convincing to where I was just like, okay, I'm going to release these and see what happens, because even if it just sort of comes and goes, I want to be able to share these with people. And for the people that did listen, like, and hearing and seeing their responses, that felt very good. And I was very happy with that, to the point where it's allowing me to just wanting to keep recording and just doing music. And that's what I was doing yesterday, was just recording some stuff for a follow-up. So.
And then I see you're working on some new material this year.
Yeah.
How is that different from the album you released?
Well, the one I released, most of the songs were recorded in Tennessee, and that was with Kent Wells, who's Dolly Parton's musical director and guitarist. And with this one that I'm currently doing, these songs that I'm doing right now are not going to be on a follow-up album. These are going to be just ones that I release in between. This was done in a studio in Woodbine of a guy that I literally just met a few months ago. But
how did that come about then?
He actually found me first.
Oh, neat.
And I had been logging and demoing these ideas that I've had since I released Remember What You're Looking For last year. And I thought, okay, I've got about 16 songs that I don't know where I want to place some of them yet. And then I want to be able to record some of them for when I do have the follow-up release ready. So yesterday, with the 2 songs that we worked on, these are going to be ones that I release in the interim very soon, while working on the full-length follow-up.
We look forward to them. I've noticed recently there's a lot of singer-songwriter gatherings for local artists.
Yeah.
At places like Fallston Barrel House, and some breweries like Falling Branch I know has. Have you ever participated in any? And which songs would you talk about?
Okay. I haven't done the Maryland ones as much. There's one that's at a place in Columbia, Pennsylvania called Songwriters in the Round. It's at a venue called the Susquehanna River Creative Conspiracy. So they have a thing where they want to model their songwriter rounds like Nashville. And there was one time where we did like that, but we had it as a thing where we had everyone lined up in like a circle. And it was just sort of a thing where we had the audience just wrapped around us, almost like a Elvis comeback special or an MTV Unplugged concert. And that was a fun time. The songs that I would talk about if we did another one, the other ones that we've done since then have been on the normal stage. But I want to be able to talk more about Probably Everyone Is Gone. I'm going to think of some other ones, but I Can Smile is pretty specific, so people know about that one. And it's really just the ones that people think of these titles and just the nature of just being like, where did this come from? Like An Everyone Is Gone or Who Is Out There? And I think, like, what headspace were you in when you wrote these? And then Remember What You're Looking For with On and On being the track that references that. It just makes you think, is like, where was your head at when you just came up with that Remember What You're Looking For phrase? And I think that whole thing just sort of symbolized what I was feeling with whether or not I wanted to release the originals in the first place. So
I don't know if you know, if you're friends with, I think it's Joe Swan on Facebook. He's starting a Harford County Spotify playlist for original art, like original songs.
Nice.
And he wants people to submit like 3 songs at the most, because he doesn't want like a ridiculous, like where you have like 20 songs and someone else has 4.
I haven't heard of that yet. I'd be happy to submit that.
I'll forward it to you then. I'll send you the information when I look it up.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What's your favorite song that you have written thus far, and why?
Okay. So one of my favorites that it's hard because it's like picking your favorite child. So I'll streamline it and say my favorite from each album.
Okay.
So I'll start with the one that's not on Spotify, Good Times Never Fade. My favorite one from there is probably either Savior or Losing My Soul on a Saturday Night. Savior is more of a case where people can look at it as sort of does it have religious connotations? Does it have like atheist connotations, or just believing in yourself? Mm-hmm. It's everything, because it kind of goes with my own beliefs, to where I believe in a higher power, but at the same time, you can't just act like you're nothing as well. So that's why I think you can live in a world where you can be the best for yourself and for what you believe in and the people you believe in around you. Mm-hmm. So that's what Savior is when it comes to that theming, and that theming is one I'm very proud of. With Invisible, I think Suede is one of my favorite songs, because that came after a breakup that I had while I was traveling to Nashville. And that one came in a dream, because I was literally symbolizing and had images of what eventually came to be the narrative of that song. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I woke up from that dream, I was just, all right, I'm going to record a little bit. And it ended up being like the first verse and chorus from that song. So it was just a fun thing that happened there. And then with the current album, Remember What You're Looking For, I'd say my favorite song from there is Everyone Is Gone, because I'm the type that likes to do story songs a little bit, and it kind of allows me to just think, what would happen if I find myself like in a wasteland where I don't know what happened? You just wake up when you're just dreaming after a normal day, and then all of a sudden everything around you is just vanished and turned into like a wasteland and everything like that. and you just don't know where to go from there. And then it's literally just narration of just being like, what is happening? Like that.
What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd everything go?
And so, yeah, that's basically how that one came up. So.
What do you think is the best song you've written, and why? I don't think that's your song.
No, it is not. And I can say this, and not necessarily have it be my favorite either.
Yeah, that's why.
And it's like, one of my favorites that I have written is one that I wrote while in college, and there's the one that's on the album. It's called I Think I Miss You. Mm-hmm. And that's one where I just looked at what was happening with like late 2000s alternative rock at the time. And then I was literally just writing about a long distance relationship that I had at that point. And it ended up just transcending and just evolving into something that I thought was very beautiful. And I wanted to put in an official release of mine at some point. And thankfully I was able to do that with this recent album. And even if I do have a love-hate relationship with it sometimes, it is probably one of my favorite songs I've ever written.
You recently performed in a musical, School of Rock, through the Music Box Theater. How did that come about, and what did you like most about it? And is it something you would consider doing more in the future?
That came about from a friend of mine named Miranda. She checked off a thing where she was going to audition for it, and I had seen her at a show where they did You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown over there, and I thought, it'd be kind of fun to work together in like a little theater thing and everything. So I signed up and did the audition, and I ended up getting cast. The whole thing was, and they can even say themselves that it was a very abnormal production because everyone ended up getting sick during the first weeks of the rehearsals. And some people were still sick by the time that the show happened. So it was definitely a case where there were some good days and bad days when it came to attendance, because there was never a day where we had any of the cast, where we had the full cast there, because there was always 2 or 3 people that would be gone. Obviously different ones at a time, but yeah. When it came to the shows themselves, I'm very happy with how they went, especially with the circumstances.
Yeah.
Would I ever do it again? If I had enough notice, probably. Because the problem with doing stuff like that is that you have to clear your calendar enough.
Yeah.
And thankfully, by the time that I signed up for this, I only had 1 show to clear for that, and that was not too bad to get, But yeah, I'll probably wait a little bit before I try something like that again. But it was nice to be able to get back and do a little acting in there.
Yeah, and it's fun to see something different. Like, let's see you in a different environment was fun. We enjoyed it. We thought it was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. You also recorded an audiobook. What was that like? And is that also something you might consider doing again?
So the audiobook is not quite done yet. Basically, what all that's really happened with that is I've recorded a little bit for the trailer for it, and that's more of I believe they're doing a Kickstarter campaign for that.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as we know what's happening with the Kickstarter, then we'll be able to see how much more we can record or if it will really proceed or not. But so far, with being able to meet like all the people, all the faces you would put to these characters when it came to like table readings that we had, those were fun because sometimes we were just making each other laugh that much.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
But yeah, it's a case where with one of my musician friends that was cast in there too, there were literally just a case where I went up to him during a reading and I wanted to just have in sequence both of us like shouting, "Look out!" and having us have the most bewildered look ever with that. So. I had more of just like a fun improv idea for that. So
I'd imagine the outtakes of if they did record
the reading,
like that they would be pretty funny.
Yeah, probably because I think it made like half of the room laugh on there and break character.
Yeah. Have or would you like to do movie voiceovers?
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I talk about how wanting to do like impressions of like cartoons and everything to where it would just be nice because like eventually you just have that thing where you can just go from like different voices to another. I joke about this in shows to where I'm like, "Oh, hi everybody," for a little Mickey voice, and then it's like, "That's a good one, isn't it?" And then all of a sudden you have some Looney Tunes voices with Yosemite Sam. "Oh, Conforta, I hate that rabbit." For it, and then with like a Gollum sort of voice, you have a "But Smeagol, that's the precious. He hates it. Yes."
And he's like, "What's going on? I don't know who all these people are.
Yeah,
that's not the person I met."
And then I'll get inspired by stuff like in Living Color as well when it came to Jim Carrey's characters, where it's like, "Nice to meet you, folks. Fire Marshal Bella here." For that. Yeah, it's like stuff like that where you can just have fun with it.
Have you ever thought about creating your own character? Like
I have thought about that, but then I think I break characters so much that it just wouldn't be really fun to do unless I actually like film it and do skits with it or something like that.
Yeah.
So it'd be something where there's a content creator on YouTube named Tom Grossi who makes his own little characters based on football fan reactions to stuff. Where with the Washington Commanders, he'll have a pretty much a hippie stoner character by the name of Wildflower. And be like, "Oh, hey there." It's like, "Dan Snyder's gone? Well, this is a good time to go ahead and have a little puff of freedom."
You should do like child storybook reading at the library.
Oh, that'd be fun.
They'd have a ball.
Yeah.
They would love you.
And then, of course, you have some ones where it's with different New York teams like the Giants and the Jets. One's named Bruce, one's named Springsteen. And they just have a little that New York accent. I can't do it. But they'll have like a stereotypical New York accent to it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What was the best musical advice you received?
Yeah, I'd have to think about that. The one that really impacted me to just want to keep going is just because it's probably don't stop. And that's just the thing. It's like being able to know that people enjoy what you're doing and that you shouldn't give up is just a good way of keeping your mind in there. Because nobody really talks about the mental health side of musicians and everything too, because when you're in this just kind of like a career choice, there's a lot of things that are different because if you're deciding to make this a career, you don't have like a normal 9-to-5 with stuff, and it's like you almost sort of get detached socially from people that you normally would be fun with, but then as you go deeper into your medium, you realize that it isn't just as common anymore. So, but the fact that people enjoy what I do and also just want to continue to support and also be there if I need anything, like that always helps, and it keeps everything nicely reassured for me.
What was the best life lesson learned?
I think listen to your body when it comes to just being able to tell what you should do, like if your voice is troubled by like sickness and everything like that. So if you feel like you need to rest and recover, things will come back to you.
Yeah.
And everything is just like, it's not a case where if you just choose to on the safe side, like people will be like physically offended unless they have like some deep-seated hatred towards you or something like that. But yeah, that's the sort of the thing. Is just like everyone understands that like the body isn't invincible. So it's just one of those things where you got to look out for it, because if you don't listen to your voice or want to be able to rehab it, if it's sick or damaged, then you're risking some really permanent damage you can do to yourself.
Right, yeah. What advice do you have for up-and-coming musicians?
I'd say continue to find your way, because you don't know what happens unless you decide to go for it. But the thing I will warn is that it does not happen immediately when it comes to just being able to like stack shows that you'll be able to like have all the time, or being able to get great at your craft, or being able to have the stamina to be able to do like an hour or even 2 hours or even 3 hours. That doesn't happen immediately. You want to be able to do what you can to train yourself, to coach yourself, to be able to work this. And if you know you can do it after you've given yourself that amount of time, then yeah, absolutely. Keep going, drive however you want to drive, and yeah, just do the best that you can for the people around you.
That's very good advice. Any new musicians? I know you're always, well, not always, but often you're gigging and you're out, so you might not be able to catch many people, but are there any new musicians that catch your eye or ear?
I haven't been able to look as much on that, unfortunately, so I can't give a straight answer on that. But you were talking about Remnant before, when it came to like them being formed, when it came to the tribute bands. So yeah, when it comes to like new bands being formed and everything like that, like Remnant's really cool. I love REM. They were one of my favorite alternative rock bands to love listening to.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah,
I like hearing them.
And then trying to think what else. I saw clips of a Blondie and Talking Heads tribute that I thought sounded really nice too.
We saw a clip of Strange Brew, the Cream.
I saw a clip of them too.
They were decent too. We enjoyed that too.
Nice.
Who do you enjoy collaborating with?
Well, there was a man that I collaborated with a lot out of high school and into I'd say around 2016, 2017. His name was Leland Sloan, and he and I did a project together called I Don't Trust Robots. And this ultimate
precursor to AI.
Yeah, it could have been, because unfortunately he passed away before AI could become what it is now. But yeah, I feel like looking back on that music, I'm just like, he probably wasn't that far off with his concept on that.
Probably.
Well, since primarily LODI is the only like band I play with right now, really is the guys in there when it comes to Brian, Rich, and Paul. I enjoy just bouncing stuff off of them with it. And then there are people that I play with sometimes in duos. Hand drummer / drummer extraordinaire named Todd Atkins. He's really cool. And then there are some singers that I really enjoy singing with as well. One that I met through an open mic in 2011 named Shelley McCarthy. She is pretty much a industry vet when it comes to performing with almost like Joan Baez sort of delivery with her voice. So yeah, she has a great range with her stuff. And then on the recent side, I had performed some shows with a up-and-coming country singer named Faith Noel. And she has really done a lot to put herself on the map. And I think she started taking this seriously during COVID and everything too. So in a period of like 5 to 6 years, like she's really come along nicely. And then there's someone I'm performing with right now named Molly. They're a really cool singer as well. And I'll be performing with them over at Hickory Lodge on Easter, I believe.
Oh, nice. Oh, maybe Brian and I'll swing by.
That'll be
looking
fun.
For something to do with Easter.
It's 3 to 7 for that one.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Who would you like to collaborate with that you haven't yet?
I've got a few Central Pennsylvania people in mind for that when it comes to performing for a new album I'm thinking of. But when it comes to shows, there's one guy that my friend Wanda and I will always talk about just having a show together, and it's a guy named Tommy B. He's really cool. He does a lot of 12-string finger picking.
Oh, neat.
And he'll also do some nice stuff with looping as well. We actually did do a mini set together over at a place in Shermansdale called Shermans Creek Inn during one open mic. And we thought, yeah, it would be fun to do a little show together. We just haven't got anything straightened out just yet.
Oh, so, well, I hope you do.
Yeah.
I know you touched a little bit on traveling, that you like to travel. But what are some of your interests outside of music, like that help you have during your downtime relaxation?
With me, it's like I love being able to just write and just songwrite, and also just having fun with different stuff like computer games, video games, and all that. So there are fun little party games that I enjoy playing with people. There's this thing called the Jackbox Party Pack.
Oh yeah,
that's really fun. One of my favorite games on there is Quiplash, to where you can answer these prompts, and the prompts will pretty much go head to head against each other, and then the audience and your current players that you have can vote, and then it'll sway like which one gets the points on
okay.
that. And you have to answer like the funniest / craziest / like inside joke kind of answer with stuff. But yeah, and then there's this one. There's one Jackbox game that's based on the presentation game that's really fun, and kind of breaks the ice if you're not really good at giving speeches.
Oh, okay.
So you get ready to give a speech, but someone will randomly pick slides and pictures that have nothing to do with it, and you have to try to pivot and base your reactions on that. So just like all of a sudden, let's just say you're talking about. And here's the thing, the prompts are chosen by the other players. So they can be a thing where you have to take this as seriously as possible, no matter how weird the title is. and then you just see where it's just like, all right, so here's what I would say when it comes to giving back to the wildlife. So we have to go and look at these, and then the picture will appear. And you'll just see maybe like a a horse mask on top of a log stump or something like that. So we have to give back to the horse trees. The horse trees really are the best that we can give for our community because we need to water them, and that way they can sprout out new horses.
That's fun.
Yeah.
How many people play it?
I think you can have up to around like 16 players or something. Oh, wow.
That's a nice little community.
Yeah, because you can have some played by controller, but you can also link to the party room on your phone too. So you can control it on different mediums.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What was the most exciting event you performed in?
All right. Oh, one of my favorites would probably have to be... with Eclipse, we actually did a show where we performed for the solar eclipse that was happening
neat.
in 2017. And we road tripped from Sunbury up to Missouri, where it ended up being. It was, so what happened is that it was Mike Lambros, and it was... And then it was the current sound engineer, like the sound engineer at the time for Reagan years, who's since passed on. We basically, it was me and the bass player Walt. We were stuck in a car together with them, and had to basically sleep through while they pulled an all-nighter for that. Being over there was a fun experience because we got to be a part of a whole like centered event where there was like a couple thousand people that were there.
Nice.
And you had various things like drum circles, tribal sort of openings as well, and also just like a normal band that happened like before us. And then there were like a lot of vendors everywhere, but we were performing in this amphitheater.
That's cool.
So that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then we were performing right after the eclipse happened, so I put on the glasses to make sure I wasn't affected by anything. And then by the time we were on, some of the people had left, but the people who stayed were really cool.
Yeah. Oh, that is exciting.
Yeah.
What was your scariest moment on stage?
It had to be one of the times where my voice blew out, I think. And I would say there was one in 2017 or 28. I can't remember. It might have been before Eclipse. I think it was 2015, where it was at a venue over in Thurmont, and I was singing fine, and then all of a sudden I couldn't get past a certain tone, and that really scared me. But that was probably the lowest I had felt at that point because I didn't know what would be happening with my voice at that point. And then we'll get to one that was scary for a different reason. So one of my friends, where I was in a improv, sort of like rockabilly group called Los Swamp Monsters, we decided to do a duo show in near Ocean City, and we were just having fun jamming on some songs. And then all of a sudden, the cops came in.
Oh no!
and there was like a little like beat down that was happening before the cops came in and taking some people away. That was on the scary side.
Yeah.
That was probably like the most dramatic thing that happened at a show, because anything else, I mean, you were there the night of the School of Rock where the fire alarm happened.
Yes.
There, that was a little freaky.
That was a little freaky, and then
to give context on that, the first night of the School of Rock musical opening, we were all prepping and getting ready in our little green room area, and then all of a sudden the popcorn machine caught on fire, and everyone had to evacuate before a curtain
and it
happened.
Was chilly.
It was chilly out.
Very windy.
Some of the kids were a little freaked out, and then others were just having some fun, like doing little games and just synchronized dancing with each other and just keeping each other warm. It was just like, all right, cool. Everyone's mostly just keeping their heads up and everything. So that was really nice to see.
It worked well.
It
worked out well.
It did. Like nobody got visibly affected by it too much. So,
what was the funniest moment on stage for you?
Oh man.
Everybody usually has several. It was hard to pick.
Yeah, I don't know, there had to be a few. Yeah, so one of mine would be a case where I was this. I think I have to go back a little bit. This was actually for like a karaoke thing that I was doing, and there was this one guy that I think was like a drunken Navy sailor.
Oh no!
And he was just like talking to me like I was somebody else. I think he mistook me for someone else, and was just like really pumping me up and having some like fun and everything. And then all of a sudden, like as I was singing, he was having fun, and then he just passed out.
Oh no!
It was like no, it happened at like a blink kind of moment. It's like yeah. And then,
that's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny. I thought you were going to say you broke out into that Irish song with what would you do with a drunken sailor? I don't know the lyrics,
yeah, right.
That's what I was thinking.
No, nothing like that.
That's a funny story though, because I actually have a quick little funny story about my
Sure.
father. They traveled to London and years and years ago, and they're not heavy drinkers, but he had it was after the flight, and I guess they had gotten settled, and then they went out to a pub, and he had a Guinness, and he was drinking, and then all of a sudden his face fell forward, and he like because he was tired because of the jet lag and everything, and the beer hit him, I guess, and it was funny. So yeah.
Here's one that happened while I was busking in Tennessee. So I was performing, I saw her standing there by the Beatles, and then this guy was just watching me as he was like passing through, and then he came up to me and tried to put his own cigarette in my mouth as I was singing.
That's weird.
It was weird, and I had to just back away after a bit. But yeah, looking back on it, it was kind of funny.
That is funny
because I'm just like, why?
Yeah, what would give you the urge to do that?
Because he was literally just walking and doing this to it.
That is funny.
Because he had just like a blank expression on his face the whole time.
That's
like
weird.
that.
Well, maybe he thought you were one of the Beatles, but I don't know. Well,
I wasn't singing in an accent, so I
don't know. What's your fondest memory musically?
I think any time that, geez. Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 that I can pick from here. The first one being, I'm trying to think, there was this one where at any time that people just randomly go up onto the mic and just try to like build me up and everything, like after a show and everything, that felt amazing. That actually happened the first time I performed in West Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Over at Riverbend, where I got just this nice speech that happened like after I was done. They were like congratulating me and everything, and I thought that was really sweet. And I definitely did not forget that moment. I even took a picture of the people that were in that crowd.
Oh, wow.
So I commemorated that day very nicely. Another one that was probably there, I would say it would be when my friend and I opened up for Bret Michaels, and that was us performing our set over in New Hampshire. It was at this casino, and there was like this little wave of people that were like in a few thousand range and everything. It had to be like 1,000 or 2,000 people in there, and they were just like having fun with the songs that we were doing.
Oh, neat!
And that was really sweet to see. And I could see my friend. He was really beaming, and then his bandmates were having fun too. It was like, that was a sweet moment, which helped get the taste out of our mouths of being blocked in by his tour bus.
Oh.
That's what happened. It's like, we were stuck, and there was a line of girls that were waiting outside of the trailer. And we had to wait a while on that. I had several stories that we could say for that.
That's a different podcast.
That's a different one.
So, what about a most heartwarming that isn't necessarily like about you? You know,
Yeah.
like.
I think just being able to, it was one of the Gettysburg Rocks that I did, and they ended up getting one of the patients that was one of the poster children for Gettysburg Rocks in there, and just being able to like speak and be very appreciative of what we were doing and what we were given back for. That's one of the things that helped solidify just being like, okay, I'm definitely in for this cause and for helping out everybody with that. And that's happened on more than one occasion. Like every time that's happened, like I try to stop and make sure I can hear what they say, because it's all really sweet and touching.
Yeah. What more would you like to do that you haven't already, and what does the future hold for you, do you think?
I want to be able to do... I can talk about this vaguely, because I want to be able to see if I can materialize it. I want to be able to do something that can combine my love of sports and my love of performing as well into like a travel marathon or something.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
So I want to be able to see what I can do in order to make that happen. And then for the future, I want to be able to write more when it comes to original music, and I want to be able to do a proper tour, I think. Because I know people say it's like, oh, touring like loses money and everything. I was just like, I want to be able to just do stuff to where I can actively just travel and see more than just the few states that I know. So,
yeah, that would be awesome.
Because I just want to be able to put myself out there.
Do you have any last minute thoughts or anything you want to share?
I can't really think of too much.
We covered a lot.
Yeah, because I get kind of an open book sometimes when you really really just get the issue up there. But I just want to say thank you for having me, and I'm really appreciative of you spending your time with me today.
Oh, thank you. Well, I appreciate you giving of your time for me on this show. So,
of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, be sure to check out Marshall Stone with LODI or solo act or whatever he's doing. We'll post and show and say what's coming down the line. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. HUMA.